Nonprofit organizations are leaving thousands on the table by not taking advantage of event sponsorships and leveraging this powerful way to partner with brands that care about what you care about, that care about making an impact in the community. And so if you're solely reliant on ticket sales for your events or donations or even just other streams of income like grants to support your nonprofit or your nonprofit events, you're going to want to make sure that you are really diversifying this year. And if you watch my video about the 2025 sponsorship trends for nonprofits, you already know I gave you some tips and tricks regarding what is to come because the industry is changing. It is evolving, it is growing, and I don't want you to be left behind. And so when we think about leveraging sponsorships in today's video, I'm going to break down why event sponsorships are a game changer. They're a game changer for your organization, not only for your organization, but the communities that you serve and the impact that you want to make. And so come along as I take you through what does it look like to have sponsors come on board and why. Why is it beneficial to have sponsors sponsor your organization? What's the benefit for them and what's the benefit for you? Because remember, event sponsorships are a win-win for all parties. It's a win-win for you as a nonprofit organization. It's a win-win for the sponsor who is looking at this as an opportunity for potential return on investment, whether that return on investment is all about building their reputation or their perception within a particular community. And it should be a win-win for your audience as well, making sure you're bringing sponsors into your network that can also serve the audience that you serve and that you love and that you commit to your daily work to every single day. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Mariah Monique and I am the founder and CEO of the Sponsorship Catalyst, where I empower nonprofit organizations such as yourselves on how to navigate the sponsorship industry so that you can increase your impact, your revenue, as well as your partnerships. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering the different benefits of why a sponsor will come on board to support you, but also what is the benefit for you as well as a nonprofit that they would be coming on board to. So number one, I just want to kind of cover that more money equals less stress. Say it with me. More money equals less stress. I think you would agree with me on the other side of the screen that more money equals less stress. And the reason being is because fundraising events can really be expensive. And not only are they expensive in terms of money, also expensive in terms of time, energy, and sweat equity that you have to put into making them work and executing them with excellence. Sponsorships can really help cover the cost of what it looks like even before the events start. And so you really want to tap into leveraging event sponsorships, not only for being able to bring a brand on board for the work that you're doing within the community, but also to support what it looks like to sustain your organization financially and build true partnerships along the way to where you know that you can create some recurrent sponsorship income from the partners that you brought alongside of you. Sponsors also bring an additional element of revenue or stream of revenue before your events happen. Now, I love this because who doesn't want to be able to bring money in before the events happen? Because you know, you've got to put up security deposits for the venue. You've got to, maybe even pay for permits if you having like a street festival. So there's some expenses that are required on the front end prior to your event happening. And so sponsorships really is a way for you to close that gap so that you're not always tapping into or maybe ever tapping into your operation or program's budget in order to execute events for the community that you serve. And so this means you're not going to always just have to depend on last minute donations or ticket sales in order to be able to fund the event. The second thing I want to talk about is it brings credibility and it builds community trust. Now, when you have a sponsor who's well known that comes on board to support you, there's going to be that alignment, but there's also going to be this credibility that is added to your organization. It's going to boost you immediately. Reason being is because it's going to make people more likely to want to support what you're doing because you've got sponsors and brands that they recognize, that maybe they love, maybe they have an affinity for, maybe they utilize their services or products. And so you want to make sure that you understand the sponsors bring credibility to what you're doing. The next thing you want to think about when it comes to this credibility is that attendees and donors see these sponsors as a stamp of approval. Now, I know we may not want to, focus on that approval aspect of things, but it is a stamp of approval, and helping your brand build some trust is going to be really, really critical, especially as you push your mission forward. Now, in my sponsorship days, one of the things that I really just appreciated was understanding or reviewing a sponsorship deck and seeing some of the other brands that said, I'm buying into this organization, I'm buying into this event, because again, it lended credibility to myself as a sponsor during that time, to where I was like, okay, well, we need to buy in, or we at least need to consider what this organization and event has to offer that might be beneficial for our organizational goals. And so just want to make sure that you understand that credibility piece and that community trust is going to be vital. The other thing is, this is bigger than the audience. It's bigger than impact. Now, sponsors often will promote your events as well, especially if they're sponsoring it. They'll promote your events with their audience, again, expanding your reach beyond what currently exists for you digitally, meaning through social media platforms, or maybe even through some email marketing, but also potentially physically, right? I've had in cases where, people are sharing physical flyers, and sponsors are able to share that with folks that come in and out of their stores, or that shop with them, whatever that might look like. And so it allows you to be able to expand your reach and be able to get more visibility in terms of not only your organization, your mission, but also the event you're going to host, which will essentially drive up website visits, ticket sales, and traffic into your actual event. So bigger audience, bigger impact is going to be really, really critical. And this just means more attendees, more awareness, and more opportunities for you to bring new donors to your network or to your ecosystem, and even volunteers into your community. The next thing is that long-term partnerships equal sustainable growth. Now, I love the idea of creating recurrent sponsorship loyalty, meaning that they're coming year after year, maybe multiple times a year, because they really value the work that you do. They really value the excellency that you put forth in the events that you are executing. They really value maybe even the impact that you've made on the community. They're watching you, they see you. And so when you think about this sponsor loyalty and them really bringing some sustainable growth to your organization, you want that. You want to be able to see those opportunities to where you can create those long-term sponsorships and really turn those sponsorship deals from one and done to your sponsor asking, when's the next time we can partner with you? What else do you have in your docket that we can be a part of? We want to really expand what this partnership looks like, so that, we can both be benefited of what the work you're doing on the grounds. And so you really want to look at what that can look like for a potential sponsor as you work through ongoing corporate partnerships, really providing that long-term funding strategy and support for the work that you're doing in the community. Now, sponsors love working with organizations that bring value to their brand. Now, remember, sponsorships are not donations. They are marketing strategies. And so when you can bring value to a sponsor brand, that is going to be critical. That is going to set you apart from other people that are looking to secure dollars from a brand. That's going to make you stand out, and it's going to give you a competitive advantage that you might not have had you not really added that value and really sat down and think through, what does value look like for my sponsor, and how can I be the solution for what they need so that that value is there and they want to keep coming back. And so they're going to want to continue to support your events, especially if that value is there. And then lastly, enhanced event experience is also going to be really critical, and one of the reasons why they would want to support your organization is one of the benefits. And so not only is this a benefit for you because it allows you to leverage their funding in order to add additional elements to your event that you could not otherwise afford, right? But then the other side is that sponsors just don't want to bring in money. They want to enhance the attendees' experience. They want to make sure that the events are memorable for those that are going to be attending those events, which essentially for you brings more into anticipation where people desire to be at your events. They desire to want to know more. They desire to connect with your organization outside of just that one-time event. Just really, again, expanding what it can look like for your organization. Plus, their involvement can add an additional extra layer of entertainment, right? It can add an additional layer of engagement as well as educational value for your programming. And so when you think about the benefits of having a sponsor come on board and leveraging their sponsorship dollars in order to build what you're trying to build for the community, it's going to be very, very critical to think about these things. Now, sponsors come on board for several different reasons. Some of them, they want to increase their sales, meaning they might be on site doing an activation that's going to do exactly that, increase their sales. I've seen this done. Let's say, for instance, one of my clients one time was doing like a fashion show, and we had this really cool idea on this sponsor that came on board, and we're like, let's make a shoe gallery wall where these shoes can be displayed. It can be kind of like a backdrop, but also there could be QR codes taking people directly to the shoes that they want to purchase and that they love. Brilliant idea, went over very, very well. It was very innovative, it was very different. And so thinking about things like that to where it directly increased sales for that organization. Brands also want to be on board because they want to position themselves as industry thought leaders in a particular industry. And so this could look like digital space, whether it's a co-branded live or whether they get an opportunity to give remarks or a speaking engagement or a breakout session at a conference, whatever that can look like, whether they're on a panel. These are reasons why sponsors would want to support, because they're trying to position themselves in a particular market with a particular population in order to make that connection point in order to meet their internal goals. Other reasons is that they want to get real-time insight and feedback about their services or their products. This is really critical, especially if they're launching a new product or a new service, or especially if they're doing some data research to understand, why is this product or service stagnant? Where are we missing the mark? Because they can take that data and to their marketing team and say, hey, this is what we received. Maybe we need to switch up our marketing messaging, or maybe we need to offer something different to this particular audience because this would resonate more with them. So them taking that data to be able to make data-driven decisions within their organization is going to be critical. And events like your sponsorship events give them that opportunity in order to gain that real-time feedback and insight from people that are attending your events. Another benefit of why a sponsor will come on board is that they want to be in front of potentially new audiences as well as existing audiences, right? So it's not always about sales, but it also is, how do we get in front of a new audience? Maybe we launched this new product and we really need to target a different audience than what we've targeted before or what we're traditionally known for. And so you think about what this could potentially look like. I think about Dove. Dove is coming to mind. So Dove, used to just have Dove products. It wasn't like specified about gender. This is for the women, this is for the men. But now they have segments to where they have a men's product, they have women products. And so if your event services men, they can use that one product line to promote or to share with the men that are going to be at your event. And so it really does create an opportunity for them to get that real-time insight, but also to position their brand in a way that allows them to expose potentially new products or services for a particularly new target audience that they are wanting to get in front of. And as it relates to existing audiences, this is all about making that connection point with people that are already loving their brand, right? Being able to touch and feel and answer questions of people that have already invested in their products or their services. And so sponsors are going to want to make sure they have a footprint and a blueprint on the grounds to be able to connect with people that are already invested in them, already love their brand, and already have an affinity for what they're going to do. And so when you think about the power of sponsorships, there's benefits for you, there's benefits for them, there's benefits for your audience as well, because you're bringing people and brands into a ecosystem, if you will, to be able to support the needs of the audience that's going to be attending the event. Maybe they were interested in looking for a new bank account, but maybe didn't have the time to go get more information, and now you've brought a bank to your event, and now they can ask questions, they can learn more about services, they can connect person to person, again, getting the help that they need on site. Maybe they needed health insurance but didn't know where to look, because sometimes health can be kind of complex, right? And so you bringing these different brands and partners into your ecosystem really also serves the benefit of supporting the attendees that are going to be at your event, that would ultimately be able to get their needs met as by way of attending your event and enjoying whatever it is that you're putting together. Maybe they're looking for a new tennis shoe, particularly for training versus just walking, everyday walking. And so really just being able to bring the right brands into the ecosystem and into your network to be able to serve your program participants and or your community that's going to come to the event. Now, there are several different benefits. Now, for you as an organization, it's really important that you, as you're selling your sponsorships, you are thinking through what are the benefits for this brand as they come on board. And part of this is really listening to what are their goals, what are they saying they're trying to achieve, and how do you match that up. Now, if you're not able to talk to a sponsor, that's a different story. You may not always know the goals. Maybe you can find them online, but maybe you cannot. Other ways that you would think about this is not only listening to their goals so that you can kind of think through what's going to make the most sense, but also being in a position to where you can understand what it is that you're bringing to the table so that that sponsor can understand and make a more informed decision about partnering with your organization. So now that you know why sponsorships are a game changer and why you need to be leveraging them for your upcoming events, I think it's really, really critical to know that it is time to take action. It is time to take action. It is time to really lean into this stream of income for your nonprofit organization, as all things should be in motion as it comes to the streams of income that your nonprofit is bringing in. And not only that, if you're ready to start securing sponsorships now, but maybe you don't know where to begin, or maybe you don't know if you feel like you have time, or you've never really understood how to navigate the space, then one, I want you to subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be dropping weekly gems, weekly tips to really help you move along in this journey. Two, I want you to use the link below to join the email list. In the email list, I'm also sharing amazing gems, tricks, and strategies that are for you that you can take and implement right away. Now, if you're one of those folks and you're like, man, I really just want to learn, I want to be able to understand this thing, I want to be able to grow, I'm ready to invest in my sponsorship growth, I'm ready to invest in my fundraising career, then the link below for you to join the Nonprofit Event Sponsorship Accelerator. Now, this accelerator is a hybrid accelerator, meaning you can binge watch all the modules, or you can pace yourself within the 90 days. You have access to the accelerator, and you also get live coaching from me. So it's an opportunity for you to learn as fast as you need to learn. I know sometimes nonprofits are in a crunch time. They need to get those sponsors right away. And some people are doing things well in advance where they can kind of take their time a little bit, but make some strides towards where they need to go in order to bring in the dollars that they need to execute the event. Whether you're on one end of the spectrum or the other, if you say, I'm ready to learn about sponsorships, I don't know a lot about it, or I know a little bit about it, but maybe I've never developed a duplicatable system, or maybe there's some things that I'm missing that I can be sharper in, I want you to consider joining the Nonprofit Event Sponsorship Accelerator. Not only do you get to learn from me, and you get to learn from the expertise that I've built in this course and access the templates and the resources and the checklists and all the things that will help simplify this process, you also get to hear from your peers. You get to hear from the amazing things that they're doing, the amazing opportunities that they're taking advantage of as well, and really be able to build a community with folks that are on this exact same journey as you. And so if you find this video helpful, please like it and be sure to subscribe. And if you're friendly to your other nonprofit colleagues, go ahead and pass this video along so they too can maximize opportunities to leverage sponsorships in order to serve the community and do good work in the world. Make sure that you tune in for next week's episode. Take a look at these additional videos if you want to learn more.